Howdy everyone, this is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia. This is yet daily update and it's going to be a sad one. I'm gonna give you sad and cruel truth that is happening in Mother Russia. Mods, could you please email me with 5x5 if you can hear and see me well? I got an email from Yarn Prepper. Thank you so much. Well, my friends, I'm going to start my stream. Well, just to give you a heads up, the thumbnail is a little ambiguous, okay? My today's stream is about companies that have left or are leaving Russia. I'm going to give you complete or near complete update. I think I'm just gonna give you the biggest companies, the most expensive companies that they have left, and a few of these companies, they have very emotional connection with me personally, because I have worked with some of the companies and I'm going to tell you what is happening. Most important, I'm going to share my opinion on whether what I think that these companies will come back to Russia as soon the minute this special operation or the event is over or not. I'm gonna share with you what I think. Without further ado, I'm going to start with telling you the list, well, naming the companies, reading the list, so to speak. My friends, these are companies that have left, are in the process, or have announced that they're leaving Russia very soon. They are Adidas, ASOS, App Store, Samsung, Burberry, Carlsberg, Dell, Diageo, Smirnoff, Guinness and other alcohol brands, Farfetch, Phaser, Hermès, Hewlett-Packard, HP, Canon, H&M, Cartier, Chanel, iHerb, Inditex, Bershka, Zara, Pull&Bear, Stradivarius, Oysho, IKEA, Kering, including Gucci, Saint Laurent, Alexander McQueen, Jysk, Lego, Levi Strauss, LVMH, including Moet Chandon, Dior and Louis Vuitton, Mango, Marks and Spencer, My Theresa, Nike, Pernod Ricard, including Chivas Regal, Jameson and other alcohol brands, Swarovski, Yux, Sephora, Polig, Puma, Valeo, Razio, BBC One, Cannes Festival, Electronics Art, Rockstar Games, Megogo, Netflix, Paramount, Sony, Spotify, Warner Brothers, Walt Disney Company, TikTok, Twitch, Coursera, Airbnb, Ableton, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Lightroom, Autodesk, Booking, Deezer, eBay, eCatalog, Jubal, Nintendo eShop, Paysera, PlayStation, Steam, Storytel, Grammarly, Airbus, BMW, Boeing, Dassault, Ford, General Motors, including Chevrolet, Nexia, Cadillac, Escalade, Harley-Davidson, Honda, Hyundai, Jaguar Land Rover, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, Nissan, Porsche, Renault, Rolls-Royce, Scania, Toyota, Lexus, Volkswagen, Audi, Bentley, Ducati, Lamborghini, Skoda, Volkswagen, Volvo Cars, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, Revolut, Samsung Pay, Swift, Western Union, Basketball Euroliga, International Curling Federation, International Basketball Federation, International Boxing Federation, International Volleyball Federation, International Ice Hockey Federation, NHL, Adidas, FIFA, UEFA, Formula One, Cisco, Intel, Ericsson, IBM, Microsoft, Nokia, Nvidia, Panasonic, Acronis, OneWeb, Oracle, SAP, Hitachi, Siemens, Accenture, BCG, CMA, CGM, DHL, EPAM Systems, FedEx, Foster and Partners, McKinsey, Mediterranean Shipping Company, Maersk, UPS, Zaha Hadid Architects, McDonald's Corporation, BASF, Danone, Henkel, and Siemens. My friends, I cannot tell you that the exodus of Western companies has just begun. No. The exodus is nearing its end. Most of the companies from the list, they have been gone for close to 2 months now. The big companies like Siemens and Renault, who have so much invested here in Russia, they're writing off assets and they're leaving. But they have started. Most of companies, they have closed their doors. They're relocating offices, relocating employees, Russian employees, to other countries, other offices, and they are in the process of, no, not leaving, not escaping, fleeing Russia. Russian people, most of Russian people I've spoken with, they think and they believe that these companies who have left or are leaving or will leave very soon, they are under tremendous pressure from their governments. I understand these Russians very well because I understand that here in Russia, in my country, companies can be under tremendous influence or pressure of the government, okay? And these Russians who have lived in Russia all their lives and they have no experience of doing business, Western companies, they don't understand how companies can be free of government control and government pressure. Most of these companies that have left or are leaving, they are doing that or they have done that because they feel it's against their business ethics to conduct business in Russia further. They feel that this market, this geography, this country has become toxic to do business. A lot of them don't want to pay taxes in Russia because they don't want taxes to go and support certain events. I understand that, but most of Russians, they don't understand. They don't believe me. They can't understand how this is possible. Most Russians think that priority for business, number one, is making a buck. And it's even higher priority than making a buck in ethical manner, okay? They don't understand. And I mean, again, I understand where majority of the Russians coming from the 80s and from the 90s. Back then, we didn't have any ethics. I mean, how many people were killed over money? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, mafia, anyone, okay? So I understand they simply don't have this understanding of doing business in ethical manner. And a lot of them think that these companies, as soon as this event is stopped, okay, as soon as Russian army is back to Russia, all these companies who have left, fled, escaped, exited Russia, they gonna be back the very next day. Interesting. I wonder what makes them say that. What makes them believe that? And they do believe that. The good people and they believe in all those companies coming back the very next day. Now, let me tell you a little personal story. This morning we had news in Russia, and this is like the last nail in the coffin. Siemens has announced this morning that it's leaving Russia completely. It's breaching all the contracts, and there will be no Siemens in tomorrow's Russia. No Siemens whatsoever. Now, Siemens is probably the oldest foreign company that has operated in the Russian market. Siemens came in, I think, 1851. It makes it 170 years of doing business in Russia. I think the only years Siemens was not actively doing business is during World War II, because it was a German company. Other years, Siemens was here. Siemens has been providing excellent services in Russia, latest technology, helping build factories in the 20s and the 30s, helping rebuild Soviet Union in the 50s and in the 60s and so forth. And in the latest years, Siemens has grown here tremendously, and it reaches out to, I think, a lot, well, most of areas of life of Russians. Siemens has very tight connections with railway, Russian state railway company, RZD. It has manufacturing facilities, produces modern trains, okay, modern technology. It supplies to Russia turbines, my business, what we've been doing, the turbines. Turbines of Siemens are excellent quality, very reliable, they're cheaper than Russian made, and they're so much more effective. No one in Russia wants to buy Russian turbines, no customers. They all want Siemens or GE, okay, but preferably Siemens. Huge here in Russia. In medical field, in the field of production automation, just you name it, Siemens is there. Now Siemens is pulling off. This morning announced Siemens no more. 170 years. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine, colleague, more like a colleague at my work, and we were discussing Siemens pulling out. And I told him, I said, listen, Siemens is done. He's burning the bridges. He said, no, that's impossible. Well, why is this impossible? Because Siemens has long-term service contracts for turbines, for trains in operation and so forth. And I told him, I'm pretty sure that Siemens is burning bridges, cutting loose ends. It's not going to honor the contracts. The guy looked at me and said, it's impossible. Long-term contracts. Siemens cannot do that. And I told him, well, Siemens is kind of following the suit, because Russian government also has or had long-term, decades-long contracts for supplying natural gas to European customers, or for that matter to all customers, and getting payments in euros or dollars. And Russian government just breached the contract and changed the rules. And the guy said, that's totally different. How is that different? It's the same thing. It's breaching of the contract. It's, force majeure if you wish. Then he looked at me and he said, then he dropped the bomb. He looked and he said, now, whose side are you on? Ours or theirs? You see, I am on the side of reason, common sense, logic, and human decency. I am a Christian. I don't lie. I like honesty. And if I do business, I conduct it in an ethical way. I conduct it so there's no stealing. There is a good product that's created and it's sold at fair market price. And this is how it's supposed to be. This is business, okay? And if I see something unfair going on, I don't have to be on the side of opposite from fairness just because it's someone I know is doing this, okay? I am on the side of fairness, on the side of truth, okay? And I guess many Russians, they nowadays don't like them, don't like that. You have to be either on their side or on enemy's side, okay? So now, all these companies have left, right? And I would like to give you a few examples of the companies. One of the companies left is Renault. Renault is the French manufacturer, huge, huge company. I think its total assets are around 12 or 15 billion euros, okay? In North America, Renaults are not very common cars. They're not known. In Europe, it seems like every third car is a Renault. Now, back in 2007, Russia had one manufacturer of cars. That's AvtoVAZ. The infamous Ladas were manufactured at AvtoVAZ. And Ladas were so outdated. There was no design for cars. There was no technology. There was no manufacturing process, no workflow, nothing. And the Russian government was trying to save AvtoVAZ. And what it does, it asks for help from Western large automakers. And you know who comes for help? Renault. Renault buys a part of AvtoVAZ and starts pumping technology, experience, pumping its abilities into Russian manufacturer. And you know what? Over 15 years, they start making decent cars. Now, Russian cars don't mean crap, okay? They mean decent quality, and actually people buy them. They're not the cheapest. The Chinese is the cheapest. Russian cars are actually not bad. Thank you, Renault. Yet, Renault decided to sell its Russian business for, are you standing? You'd better sit down, because you need to hear this. 1 ruble. Renault decided to sell its Russian operations, manufacturing facilities, stock, cars, everything, technology for 1 ruble. 1 ruble is what, like 3 pennies? Renault has written off 2.4 billion euros. That's $3 billion. $3 billion just gave up on the assets. Because Renault doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to have anything to do with Russia whatsoever. The company who saved our butt, or butts. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for this. I would like to thank all shareholders of Renault, all management, all people who somehow connected with Renault. Thank you so much. Please forgive us for what has happened in my country, and you were forced to make this decision. I know it's going to devastate your company because you're just showing loss of 2.4 billion euros this year, and I am very, very sorry. Thank you so much for coming to Russia in 2007 and saving us. I feel really, really bad about this situation. Now, move to another example. Finnish company called Valio, actually 2 companies, Valio and I think it's Raisio, okay? Manufacturer of excellent butter. I ate Valio butter as much as I could. As much as any time I could buy different butters, different brands, I would buy Valio, because you know what? The best quality in Russia. Not the cheapest, but the best. Other Russian brands, manufacturers, they don't even come close. Valio was number one. Valio was one of the first companies, Finnish companies, to come into Russian market and invest into a large manufacturing plant that produced butter, processed milk and stuff like that. And Valio decided to sell business manufacturing facility soon after the start of the event. Company called Razio, also Finnish food manufacturer, followed the suit. I want to say thank you so much. I know that you sold business for a fraction of what it cost. And the Russian company who bought it from you is going around and bragging that it got such a tremendous deal, and you know, it got so much more value, like dollars and pennies and stuff like that. Please forgive us. Thank you so much for feeding me and my family, feeding us with excellent products. Thank you. I am very sorry about what happened. Now we move into McDonald's. I've said so much about McDonald's. I don't like the food, but I love you coming to my country, the very first Western company in 1990, and showing us the way. I call 1990 to 2022 the freedom years because of you, McDonald's Corporation. Plasticky food, I don't care, but food is safe, was safe here in Russia, and anytime person needs a quick bite to eat, no fears of going to a hospital afterwards. Right now, McDonald's is still paying its employees until tomorrow, and I think might pay another month. McDonald's Corporation is losing $50 million, $55 million every single month in Russia. That's pure loss. And I'm not even talking about what devastating financial effect leaving such a profitable market, causes to McDonald's Corporation and its shareholders. Please forgive us. Please. Thank you for showing us the way. Thank you for being the first ones. Thank you so much. And I come to Siemens. Siemens is a prime example of disaster that is happening with Russia. Siemens has such a historic tie with Russia. Like I said, it's 170 years, proudly serving Russia and the Russians, giving Russia so much technology. Right now, we are enjoying fast, like bullet type trains here in Russia. They're called Sapsan and Lastочка. And you know what? They're made by Siemens. Technology provided by Siemens. Joint venture with Russian state railroad company. So much invested, money invested, efforts, knowledge, know-hows, technology, everything. I know how great Siemens is because Siemens is our strategic partner here, was a strategic partner. My company, we would offer to construct a turnkey power station, and we would offer Siemens turbines, main equipment we call it, within that, inside of the package. Okay, so we would team with Siemens, and we would even bid for like joint projects together. Now, I am the person inside of my company who 2 years ago undergone a due diligence process for Siemens. I worked with Moscow office and its Austrian office in Vienna. Siemens was doing a complete analysis of our company under microscope. I was providing all financial documents, data, all workflow processes, all engineering knowledge, everything. That Siemens was looking at our company under microscope. And I was the one who was helping Siemens to do that. So we could start a joint venture. We could go and bid in projects together. And Siemens was satisfied with our performance and our track record, okay? But in the process, I learned how Siemens works on the inside. Fantastic company, fantastic. And then now you must leave everything. You must burn bridges. I know your government did not force you to do that. I know. It's the ethics, it's the attitude, it's your, what's a human inside of company. That's what's making decision to do that. It's not for the money. It's not for the corporate rules. It's for the human part. And I am thanking you for giving us 170 years of good service. Thank you, Siemens. Thank you so much. Please forgive us. We've messed up greatly. I am very, very sorry. I can't even say we're gonna miss you. It's not just a matter of missing, it's a matter of it's gonna be tough without you. Now, let me, at the end of the message, let me address the issue of all these companies coming back. Siemens forfeited so much in Russia. It's forfeited history. Renault has written off 2.4 billion euros, pure loss. Sold the entire Russian business for 1 ruble. McDonald's has lost hundreds of millions of dollars in pure expenses, direct costs that are keep on piling, and unearned profits. Valeo has lost millions and millions, perhaps tens of millions of euros. Okay. There are manufacturers, German manufacturers, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Volkswagen. They all have factories here in Russia. Guess what? The factories closed. American companies, Chevy, Cadillac, they have factories here. They closed now. Now, please answer my question. Do you think that even if the event stops tomorrow and Russian troops come back to Russia and everything is settled, okay, some kind of agreement reached with Ukraine, whatever, do you honestly think that these companies that have gone through such a turbulence because of their decisions to cut loose ends with Russia, do you think that they're gonna come back and they would want to go over the same experience again? Do you think they trust Russia? They trust Russian government? Do you think they trust Russian markets? Do you think they trust Russian politicians? Do you think they trust enough to come back and reinvest all that money again into Russia? Build other factories, okay? Bring more technologies and stuff like that. Do you honestly think that these companies are gonna do that? I think they have given up on Russia and Russian market for decades, if not hundreds of years. If everything goes back to normal, these companies will not come back. And Russians, my dear fellow Russians, the ones are saying that these companies are gonna come back tomorrow, the next day, after this event is over. My dear fellow Russians, I wanna ask one question, a very simple question to you. What the hell are you smoking that's making you think like that? This has been a very clear and very sad message about how I see the situation with Western companies leaving Russia. I'm going to turn the comments on now, and will you please tell me what you think? Do you agree with me, or you think I am off the point here? Perhaps you think that, perhaps you give me some other thoughts. All right, looks like the comments are on. And I want to try to ask you two things. First thing, please keep this chat clean as usual. You know the rules. Most of you come back here every day. Thank you so much. The usual suspects. I have 15, 1900, 2000 usual suspects. That's amazing. Thank you so much. You know the rules. If you're new here, please keep this chat clean. Think before you post. Do not try to inform me of things happening in Ukraine. I know everything I need to know, and just don't mention names or anything like that. I also would like to ask you to put in the comments where you're from, country and the city. Let's try something different today, and we'll see what the geography of the stream looks like. And also, please answer me whether you agree with me on these companies leaving and then not coming back to Russia, or you think I'm off the point. Thank you so much. I see that there is a super chat, and I bet I know who that is from. That's from Reese Gray. I can bet $10. Yes, thank you so much. Reese, hello from Canada. I'm growing more worried about the dangerous form of nationalism that's occurring in Russia. I'm going to, this is a good question. I want to bring it up. We should all be proud of our homeland, but respect must be earned. I'm going to answer your question a little bit later. I saw that Lorna was the first one. Lorna, Yarn Prepper, Mommy, Robert, thank you so much for coming back today. Thomas. Latvanis, are you from Latvia? Latvanis. Vanis. Pure Tone, Susan Nelly, Martin P, Bruce Langworthy, Joe Ben, I thought Joe Biden, Meisel, Berg, not very good at reading, Berg Sprechen, Bob S, Angry Homesteader, well, long time no see, how are you, Angry Homesteader, Dirk Misler, James Rhodes, Nai Ka, Tim Barbara Landry, Duke Fishing, Dai, Suri, Robert Holland from Australia, Render-sized, Jason, Lori Jordan, Marilyn Parmalee, and other usual suspects. There's another super chat from Zdenek Pavlatka. Hello from Prague, I agree with you, and it's a sad thing. Thank you, Zdenek. Thank you. You know what? I asked you a tricky question. Okay, I think I know the answer. What I've said is common sense. Okay, I'm not being modest here, I know, but I think what I've said is truth. Okay, the companies are not coming back. Some might. Smaller companies might. But the big ones who left so much investments, written off those investments, they will think 1,000 times before coming back. I, as a CEO, if I was a CEO of a company, I would think 1,000 times before risking my company again and bringing it to a market like Russia again, you know. So thank you, Zdenek, thank you for agreeing with me. Thank you so much. $5 from Garth McKill. Western companies return if they will not want to spend on factories in Russia, just export from other regions. Yes. And I positively think that most companies will not return unless this moral dilemma of relationship with Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine, is somehow settled. If it's not settled, no one will return. Even without manufacturing facilities, even to sell something in Russia, they will not return. If there's a peace agreement, if Ukrainians are satisfied, everyone's satisfied, everyone kind of exhales. I just don't understand how people can be satisfied. There's so many people dead, you know. But just let's pretend if everyone's like, okay, let's leave it behind us and let's move forward. Then I suppose that some companies might come back and start selling. And I agree with you, they're not going to spend on factories in Russia again, because why would they? But they're going to be start selling from, you know, other regions. Reese, you know, we've had quite a light-hearted conversations over the past streams. You know, the private streams for sponsors only and for patrons only, that the ones I was doing a few days ago. And then we had light-hearted conversations during the main streams. But this is a very tough question. It's not light-hearted, okay? It's generally not a very light-hearted stream for me, because I'm hurting. I'm hurting because of Siemens. I am so close to Siemens. I know this company. My colleagues work at Siemens. I used to work with them 10, 15 years ago. A lot of them work in Siemens on high positions now. I know we've eaten lots of, in Russia they say, if you know, are to gain a friend, you have to eat a pound of salt together. We have eaten a pound or a few pounds of salt with Siemens, okay? I'm so sad of that company leaving Russia. Anyway, what you're saying is very true. And I am repeating word to word what you're saying. I'm growing more worried about the dangerous form of nationalism that's occurring. Me too. Me too. Me too. I have nothing to add. Thank you for your message. It's spot on, and thanks for the super chat. Geography is very diverse. It's a usual thing, but I'm glad to see that people writing where they're from: Wisconsin, Indiana, London, Colorado, Kansas City, Chicago, Illinois. Dirk Misler is from Germany. Lawrence Daniels is from Netherlands, I think. Netherlands, Denmark, or Netherlands. Anyway, from Benelux country. Richmond, Virginia. Chirper says, you're absolutely right. It will be decades before most companies return. Tiverton in Devon, UK. I agree, decades. Decades. How can we just do something like this so fast? People, someone pinch me and wake me up, okay? This is how I'm feeling right now. Bob S. No one will return for at least 50 years. I was talking to my wife, Bob, and it's exactly what I said. From 50 to 100 years. Even if the leadership is gone. Well, not gone, but replaced by, you know, voted out, you know, voted in, whatever. Robert Holland in Australia, and it's still raining. It's amazing. Jason. Pure Tone, yes, you're right. Constantine, Netherlands in the house. Chicago, Illinois. Bill Roy. Unfortunately, 100% right. It will take decades for companies to again invest in Russia. Daniel Wong, Oslo, Norway. USA in Bulgaria, watching you from Cypriotis. John Clark, thank you so much for the super chat. Raleigh, North Carolina. I agree with you, Constantine. This is not the first time this has happened. 1917, fool me once and shame on you. Fool me twice and shame on me. That's how I should have named this stream. You're spot on. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. In Russia we say fooled once, it's their problem. But fooled twice, it's your problem. But same meaning, you know. Thank you. Washington State, USA, angry homesteader. Agree, 100%. Sender. Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Tim Deans, Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes. No comment. Odense, Denmark. Odense, I read a book about Odense. You're right on the water, I think, and you have like tons of boats, and you have like regattas happen all the time, I think. Edinburgh, Scotland. Edinburgh, Stone Monkey. Karina, greetings from Faroe Islands. Wow. You know what, Karina? I discussed with my daughter, 15-year-old daughter Dasha. This is where she wants to go, Faroe Islands. I don't know, she watched a movie about your place and then she just wants to move there when she grows up. Very strange, you know. And now you're writing from Faroe Islands. São Paulo, Brazil in the house. Wow. Greetings. 999 Vika. You are always here. I've seen you quite a few times. I didn't know that you're from São Paulo. Taco Lover, $5. Thank you so much. We need Constantine to bring tacos to Russia. We will call it Constantine Taco Trucks. I like that. Thanks for cheering me up. Thank you. Cambridge, England. Beep beep, I'm a Jeep. I like the name. Thermodynamics, Ireland. Thomas Mroz, I think it depends, K. Ultra Sassy Becca, hi there. Coco Marie, I'm a usual lurking suspect. Goddess Heathen, Teotwauki. Teo, thank you, whatever it is. USA, Chicago. Gothenburg, Sweden. We call it not Gothenburg, but Gothenburg. Litrips. Jill Gregg, did I miss it? How did the "are you on the other side" conversation continue? It didn't continue. I said, you know what, I'm on my own side. I'm on the side of reason, common sense, logic, fairness, God. This is my side. You can pick whatever side you want, but this is mine. And that's pretty much it. Basically, we ended the conversation. I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to pretend the person I'm not here in Russia. I'm inside Russia, and it's not that safest place anymore in the world, like not the safest in the world. You know, it's risky, and it's becoming more and more risky to voice your opinion. But you know what? Heck with it. I am who I am, and I'm making myself heard. Plain and simple. Margaret, greetings from Los Angeles. Margaret, please watch my video I uploaded yesterday about LA Lakers. Hope you like it. Joanna Maria, Iceland is here. Fort Worth, Texas. All my hobbies are expensive. I like the name. All my hobbies are expensive. IKDA, thanks for clear message. Germany, no location. Good enough. Germany is good enough. I agree to your message. One option. How much state wants to pay for return? Oh my God, this is a fantastic question. You're not gonna believe this. Yeah. IKDA, thanks for clear message. I think that was the same thing. How much the government making companies leave wants to pay for return. Russian politicians are furious for Western companies leaving. They are doing like this. Oh, we're gonna get you. But there's not much they can do. They actually introduced a law that puts a criminal responsibility for the CEOs and high management of the companies leaving. Okay? So if Siemens is leaving and its general director is a subject to criminal punishment in Russia because it's pulling out of Russia. I'm not sure how this law works. I gotta look into it more. But this is one way they were trying to stop companies from leaving. But you know what? No such luck. I have not heard of anyone getting arrested based on that law. They are saying this. Russian government politicians, bureaucrats, they're saying, oh, of course these companies will return as soon as this is over, but we're not gonna let them return just like that. We're gonna make them pay to allow to return to Russia. They're gonna pay us for the right to return, and we're gonna introduce higher taxes to them. And the first time I heard that, I couldn't believe. I was thinking, what are you breathing there? Okay, give me some of that good stuff, because I'll breathe that too, and I'll feel that much better, like the same way you are. Can you imagine? They want to tax returning companies more, and they want to make them pay one-time fee to be able to allow to return to Russia. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. Okay, this is so crazy. So IKDA, hopefully I answered your question. Lisa, it's not Western governments making people leave, it's ethics and power of the people. And this is my point exactly. Thank you, Lisa. Friendswood, Texas, hello. Reno. Nancy Saylor, Philadelphia. Michigan, USA, they won't come back. No, they won't. Maryland, they will not. That'd be crazy to come back. Wisconsin, USA. PL Demory Gray. Joe Ben, Constantine, may I ask what your response was to the person who said whose side you're on? I already said what my response was, and that is my universal response. I'm very honest. If they ask me whose side I support, I say that I do not support the bloodshed. I think that Russia has nothing to do in Ukraine, and Russian troops gotta come return home, and this is what I say. I'm very vocal about that. Not just ethics driving business decisions. Risk analysis all says your country is not a good place for investments, sorry. Jabber, we're not talking about the investments. We're talking about well-established operational business here, okay? Companies making money here. They just forfeiting everything. They losing money, Graz, Austria. Georg Forster. The home of Arnold Schwarzenegger. James Rhodes. Is Guardian Glass still operating in Russia? Guardian Glass. I have not heard Guardian Glass. I heard of the other companies. Owens Corning live in Russia. I made a bid to build a plant for owners Corning couple years, 3 years ago. They decided not to expand in Russia, and it's probably a very smart business decision. But I think they left. Not sure about the Guardian glass. Votia, hi from Finland. Totally agree with you. Thank you. Mr. Mint 94. Hi, the Western companies wouldn't return until the government is replaced. That's hard words, but the stability could just return another political status, my opinion. Greetings from Germany. Mr. Mint, and I think Germany and the rest of Europe will very soon stop buying Russian oil. Chinese have stopped buying Russian oil already. Europeans will stop, and you know what? Russia's gonna be so screwed. Jason, American in São Paulo, Brazil. Leanne Anderson, Indiana, USA. Andriy S., California, USA, born in Lviv, Ukraine. Hello, my friend. Welcome. You are very welcome here. Thanks for coming. I think you might be right about some companies, but I'm sure a lot of them left due to public pressure and might be back as soon as things quiet down. Andrei, time will tell. I hope that this will stop very soon, and then we will see how some companies will behave. Dave, hi from UK. If a location is bad for business, then business will invest elsewhere. You're absolutely right, Dave. Geeky Carlis, hello friend. Hello, lovely mods. Lawrence Daniels, Belgium. Yeah, Lawrence, Benelux, I was right. Golden Griffon, wow. The very old usual suspect. Constantine and Supermods, hi there. Simon, Clark Williams, hello Suri, you're right, Germany, Flensburg, Danish border, okay. Good food there. Think you have a mix between Belgium and Germany. Oh, not Belgium, Denmark and Germany, like very mixed cuisine as far as I understand. Charlene Huff, El Paso, Texas, wow. I'm worried for you. Thank you. I'm worried for my safety too. That makes two of us. Thank you. Reese Gray. SSO. Continue solo. Pretty sure no Leo P today. Maria Angelica. Santiago, Chile. Wow. No, they won't come back. You know what, even in Santiago, Chile, you understand that, far away from Russia. And people in Russia, many people, they are absolutely oblivious. CK, thank you for the super chat. Konstantin, my name is Katya. Born in Kharkov but live in the US. I watch your streams every day because they keep me sane. It reminds me that there are good Russian people out there. Thanks for streaming. CK, Katya, thank you so much for super chatting and sending me a message. I want you to know that I have very close ties with Kharkov. Even these days, I call Kharkov a few times a week. I have friends there and I know the situation, what's going on there. I've been to Kharkov many times, fantastic city. I used to walk the border, cross the border, buy food from Belgorod, would catch a cab and just, ride into Kharkov. Fantastic city square. This administration building, the one that was bombed by a rocket, was all over the YouTube, Very nice people, very nice people. I never felt like I was in another country in Kharkov. I felt like it was just a province, a part of Russia. People spoke same language, same culture, same everything. thanks for coming here, and thanks for being a part of our community, you know. Robert Holland, like yourself, bought all the state enterprises. You buy Renault, Siemens, you and folks like you have the skills and attitude to rebuild. You kidding me? Renault, Siemens, and these assets are gonna be had for pennies by certain people. You know what I mean? Robert, you don't understand how Russia works, okay? You are saying something that doesn't make any sense right now. We cannot buy if we wanted to. These assets are gonna go to certain people, okay? That's pretty much it. RAM 145, thank you. Our US history books show business impacted by Russian geopolitics in the 19th century. In the 20th century, now the 21st century, it's sad. It's sad for you, and you're sitting far away. And it's a tragedy for me and for the Russians like me, who are sitting right inside, in the very center of this sadness. The epicenter of sadness right behind my back, about 20 kilometers, 15 miles from here. That's where all this sadness is born. Decisions are made, you know. Trust me, it's very, very tragic. It's not even sad. William R. Jackson, Mississippi. Thomas S., South Germany. Yes, you're absolutely right, Thomas. Some companies, including McDonald's and some others, are still paying. IKEA is still paying. I think they're gonna be paid until August. Yes, and that just shows how human, how warm these companies that don't make any money in Russia, but they care for their employees. Okay, most Russian people, they cannot understand. They think that these companies are forced. They're waiting out for this to stop so they can come back, you know, and they don't really understand what's going on. Wild Wolfpack, hello, aloha from Hawaii. DWG Graham, Plano, Texas. Mama Two Boys, I'm from Indiana, USA. I don't see it's happening, sorry. You don't have to be sorry about this. You just thank you for being sorry, but this is direct reaction of some actions that have taken place here. Melody, Daytona Beach, Florida. Oh, I know that very well. Trust me. Totally agree, but said because of that. Thank you. John C. Sadly have to agree with you, from Oregon, USA. Retired US Navy Chief Petty Officer. You're a brave man to don't worry, I'm not going to read about this. Take care of yourself and your family. Thank you so much. Finish your plate. Hello from New York. Mary Greer, Florida. Love your chats and your family. Thank you so much. Antonio Souza, dear Constantine. I think the mods are signaling the check time. Yeah. Lorna needs to leave. Slow chat today. I was reading every single message, you know. Caps or no caps, it doesn't matter, you know. Bob S. No, I'm just 2 minutes, and I promise I'm gonna wrap it up. Dot Solado, where can we email you a question? If you go to the About section on your desktop or laptop, you will see that there's email address. You have to press the button to verify you're not a robot, and it will see my email address. And of course, if you're not a robot, if you're a robot, you will not be able to do that. MN the language. Greetings from Lincolnshire, east coast of England, east coast of England. Okie dokie. Blessings to your friends, family, mods, and everyone on the live. Thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Greetings from Moscow, Russia. Sad greetings. Sydney. Such an incredible geography. There are so many people from different, not countries, but the regions of the world. That's amazing. We have Brazil, Chile, Europe, North America, of course, Australia. I'm pretty sure someone from New Zealand. Ino, will you return to Rostov? I will do so, because I am liking Moscow less and less. I really have hard time staying here, and it's hard to explain to you. I understand that's really strange, but that's what's happening. The feeling is mutual within my family. It's becoming harder to stay here. Poland. Arkadiusz Rubinkowski. Good evening from Poland. I usually listen to you when going to sleep. Have a good night. Thank you, Arkadiusz, for being with us. Serial Spiller. Hello from Austin, Texas. Best wishes for you, family, and loved ones. Thank you for sharing your life with us. Thank you. I'm trying not to share not just my life, but my country, living in my country, you know. I think my country is much more interesting than my life. And then, thank you. Martin, thank you for €5. Styria, Austria. I agree with you, and I talked about it with my uncle, who is a former Siemens manager. Siemens Energy is the department of Siemens that I'm very familiar, very close with. Thank you, Martin. Very sad what's happening. I'm not gonna answer Toxic Punk, but I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna read the message, but I'm gonna answer you that I have donated. I have done a great share, okay? Not to, I don't say much about that. I don't share it publicly, but if I ask myself, what have I done? I know what I've done, and I'm not ashamed to answer myself, you know. I'm not ashamed to look in my family's eyes, my wife's, my children's. I know what I've done, and I know what I'm doing, so you can challenge me whatever you want, but I'm doing what I feel is right. And Nikos, have you watched Schwarzenegger's Message? I watched the first Message a month ago, or something like that. I loved it. I discussed it here on stream, one of the streams. Gosh, today is what, stream number 80 that we're having. My God, this is like life. We've lived life together, you know. Almost 80 streams. So it must have been stream number 30 or something like that. So I have watched it. This is crazy amount of 25,000 Chilean money from I gotta break my Conchi. Greetings from another guy from Santiago, Chile. Always watching your videos. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for super chat, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for being with us. 5 minutes into the end of the stream, and I have another question, the last question from AK Boost. I like it. Kostya, are you missing McDonald's? tremendously. I am missing McDonald's. I am not missing McDonald's food whatsoever because I found it very plasticky, not very appealing, not tasty. I never ever ate at McDonald's, but I miss it because McDonald's to me is peaceful years that my country enjoyed. McDonald's to me is the window, the bridge to the West, the window to the West that I looked through back in 1990. That's a symbol of freedom, symbol of opportunities. That's what I miss. Yes, I do miss McDonald's tremendously, but I just don't miss its food. Hope I answered your question. Melody, thank you so much for thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat and the message. $10 is a message, pretty strong. Paula McDonald, we know that you're a good man, husband, father, and you show the best of what you represent for Russia. Savannah, Georgia. A friend of mine lives in Savannah, Georgia. Is one of my best friends. Thanks for your message. Thank you. Touches my heart. And Rudy Kaisley, corporations like families, they only thrive where things are stable. Yep. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. Okie dokie. My friends, I would like to finish the stream and I invite everyone to pray with me. I have a little different prayer today. If you're a believer, non-believer, atheist, Muslim, doesn't matter, please join me and us in prayer. And if you don't want to call it prayer, just call it sending good wishes to people. Please do. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thanks for putting food on our tables. Thanks for giving us roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding with good people, family, loved ones, colleagues, just good people in general. I would like to ask you to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Send your help. Reach out and touch heads and hearts of every person involved in the conflict. Warm their hearts, open their hearts and fill them with love. Send angels to protect every single person who is in harm's way. Please do that. I also want you to open heads and put sense into the heads of people who make decisions on whether to stop or continue the bloodshed. I want you to ask you to open their hearts, to fill them with love, mercy, remorse, and soften them up. And I'd like to ask you to open their eyes so they can see what's been done. They get terrified and stop this thing. Please influence these people so they make decision to stop. I would like to ask for all people, thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands of people who are in turmoil because a lot of companies have decided to leave Russia, and they're not just in Russia but in other countries as well, and they are touched by these decisions to leave Russia, okay, because it's just not about Russia, it's about all over the world, people feeling this pain all over the world. So I want you to ask for these people. Give them stability, give them ability to support their families, to work and make money. Give them this opportunity to find new jobs or perhaps to somehow transform the old ones so they do not hurt financially. They continue to make living for themselves, to put food on our tables, to get health care, to give, like, buy presents to their children. Please help everyone who's been affected by this situation with companies leaving Russia. I want you to reach out and touch hearts and heads of every single person who is in the stream right now, praying with me or watching us pray. Please grant their wishes and make their prayers come true. I want you to help those who help in Ukraine right now as well. I want you to help the sick. Please give them good news, heal them, so they gain their good health back. I would like to mention a few people who reached out to me and asked me to name them during our prayers. And they are Shay, Rafaela From, and her daughter Anna, William Schaffner, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha and Sky, Rebecca Witzman, Melissa Defosa Blanchi, Bas Semen, Anne Mary B, Jean-Paul, Paula MacDonald, Jane Hancock, Michael Milkowitz's mother, Brian V's mother, Marlene's Parmalee, Mikhail's family, Dimitrius and Kieran, Maddie and Sharon, Narnian Lady, Brantley, Susan S., Sabrine Fell, Firefly Farm Son, Murby 1, Skipper 0.9, Madeline, Mommy and her husband. Dear God, thank you so much. Amen. Everyone, thanks for coming for another good, interesting stream. A very tough stream to me. But you know what? I'm being honest, and I'm just telling you how life in Russia is. No more, no less. This is what's happening in my country today. You are awesome and you rock. Thank you for coming to joining us at the stream today, and I will see you tomorrow. I have another message, and it's going to be usual time, 11 p.m. Moscow time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And one more thing, I have a feeling that I am missing someone on my list. Okay, I've had so many people emailing and messaging me. If somehow I missed your name, could you please email me or put in the comments here so my mods will see that and they will pass the message to me. I would really appreciate it, and please forgive me if I missed you. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.